Okay, so we are back at it again. I did a video talking about my 407 Coupe reversal of the suspension back to the variable suspension from the manual to variable. Now, on the road, just 2 days ago, remember I said the bouncing, I felt bouncing when I first do the test. About 2-3 days ago, the bouncing became so bad, as in it became very unsafe. As in, I don't want to go into details. So now look at it. You can see it all busted. They're all leaking. Both of them. The rear was see oil. So yeah, they failed. Even though they were not even that good when I first mounted them. But at least about 2-3 days later, it just couldn't. It was no longer safe anymore to drive it. That's how bad it was. Just bouncing like balloon, even while the car was on smooth roads. So what I intend to do now is the front ones are intact. They are hard like stone, so I'm not touching them. So I'll still retain the what is it called, the variable on the front. Hopefully the ECU will accept it without making them soft, since I'm going to disconnect the rear ones. So what I'm going to do now is to mount the manual back. Unfortunately, as you can see, these things were not there. This buffer were not there before on the when I put that manual on. So that particular side was not there. You can see this one too. So I think it was this side, if I'm not mistaken, that didn't have buffer at all. Then the other one had, but it was already cut into two. So what now happened was the new shock absorber I put here failed, the one without buffer. So it can tell the importance of having this buffer on your car if you want your shock absorber to last. So if it has failed, if you're always having shock absorber failure issue, check whether this shock buffer is still there. So that will now force me to change this. So luckily I was able to get OEM. So this is a new OEM 407. This one is 7030. That's the number on it. So however, the spring is too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the spring. This is a dead one. So take this one and put here. And so but this one is okay. So you can see they are dead. So my only concern is the front to continue to work without the variable shock absorbers at the back. We'll see what happens. And we'll see. So that's the update, and we'll see if you guys appreciate as the work progresses. Okay, so the work has been done. I see these are the variable ones that we put last week. It's not even up to 5 days now leaving the car, and you can have it posted. Almost all the oil leaked out. And so this is the new one that I've used. I put this one January 2022. Yeah, January 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? January 20. I thought 2023. So I've used it for more than a year. So, but because there was no buffer there, I suspect that was why it failed. So take this lesson from me. Don't make the same mistake. Check your shock absorbers to know if there is a buffer. Including the front ones, the buffer is usually for the front one somewhere inside the spring, covered with this rubber coat. If the buffer is not there, expect your shock might fail. So I'm not saying for sure that was what killed this new one, but like I said, that's the only logical explanation for me. No, could be technical explanation, but that could lay my hands on. Since there was no buffer there at all, most like, and that was the only one that failed. These are the new one in the front that I removed. They are still intact. Same time I put those rear ones. So these ones did not fail because the buffers were there. So now from the field, now the tail is very hard. Before now, I mean, it bounces like hell. But now it's very okay. It's stable now. Now, so what I've done now is I started the car to see if hold on, to see if the front suspension. Remember, the front suspension is variable. To see if that one will give any problem. It's not showing me suspension warning. Since remember the two of them at the rear now, the manual shock absorbers, they are disconnected. So I was expecting that it starts showing or giving me this warning. This is the suspension to activate auto to manual. That if I want to change it to sports mode or the soft or automatic mode. Well, I haven't moved this, but I've checked the both front and the rear. This one, which is more important. Now, it's still stiff, so the ECU is still controlling it until I drive the car, but at least it's stiff. So hopefully it stays like that, which is what I want. After the car height, it will be, of course, it will now go up a little higher than the variable suspension because this one is 7 coil, the spring is 7 coil, while the it's 7, right? Is it 7 or 6? No, this is 8. The 4-cylinder one is 8, while the what's it called? The variable or the V6 one, the Coupe one is 7. However, this is the spring. Remember, the shock absorber I bought is actually OEMs with the spring attached. So what I noticed was the spring was longer, which I mentioned earlier. Even though it's the same number of 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but it's still longer than the one, because I had to select those ones I put in the bar. I noticed that not all 4-cylinder shock absorber, rear shock absorber in 407 are the same because of the springs. So most likely, not most likely, obviously some have a higher height than the other. Could be from the station wagon, could be, I don't know. So all I did was I had to select the two that a little bit lower, so they're closer to the Coupe V6. So I believe once I move the car will likely level up. So I'll do that and then update. Alright. So what I'm going to do now, I'll discard this one. This one is dead. These two are dead, but I just want to be sure I'll keep them. Once I drive the car for 2-3 days and confirm that truly I don't need anything here for me, because you can't remove this spring. The only way to do that is to cut it off before you can separate the ring. I've done that before. So I just want to know, to be sure I won't be needing something here. We'll see. So let me do the test drive, then update. Okay, so hopefully this will be the final update for now. So so I've been able to complete work, so I've taken the car for a drive. First time I took the car for a drive, remember the front end, when we mounted the rear end, started the vehicle, the front suspension shock absorbers were firm, the two shock absorbers. Very, very, very hard. Even when I tried to depress the front end, it just stayed like no movement, no bounce. So I took the car for a drive and suddenly it loosened up. I mean, I climbed a bump, it just dropped and bounced many times. It behaved almost like the rear one a little bit. I did it another bump, it did the same thing, went back to the workshop, parked the car, and I was like, okay, so what it means is the ECU has stopped controlling this, so the front shock absorber, which are still variable, So it means I have no other option than to mount back the manual one since they are still okay. Started the car, I was like okay, because I didn't have I had the manual shock absorbers, which are these ones. Remember, I got them new before. However, the springs, I left them at home because I don't know, it didn't occur to me to come with the springs for this ones in case I may have to put back this, because I left those springs at home. Now the spring on these ones are the Coupe own. So however, the spring at the rear are the 4-cylinder saloon own. So it made it to come up a little bit higher. We shifted the front end, the rear end up a little bit. So while the front end stays a little bit lower, since it's a Coupe grand class. So on my way out, I was okay, maybe I'll schedule another walk, another day for the walk, where I'll come and mount the manual one. Suddenly, the car became, the front end became stiff like stone, just like it were when I was using the car with the faulty rear shock absorbers, variable ones. So for some reason, the ECU decided to, I don't know, start controlling it again. And I mean, the car can now barely move. It's like stone right now. I can't even move can't even bounce. So because of that, I don't know. I said okay, no need for me to bother about replacing it. But not now. But one other thing I can say here is, it might not show on the video, but when you look at the car, it's not really that level. You can easily tell that the rear end is a little bit up, the front end a little bit lower. So what I intend to do, because of the V6 Coupe spring, front spring, works better with the V6 rear shock absorbers, V6. So to give the car that height. The rear end is not supposed to be higher than the front. That's my point. So I think what I might eventually do, even though the shocks is not working well, is I may end up putting back this and then use the springs that we are there before. The spring that we are there before were V6 spring from Saloon V6 spring. So the Saloon V6 springs will take the Coupe front end a little bit up, not much up, so that it will level with the 4-cylinder spring at the back. So I think eventually I will just have to keep this variable shock absorber, since the front one, since they are very intact.